Feels like it has been a while since we've done one of these, but this stuff's still going on, so we're still making videos. We got a guy acting like an absolute fool, and I think what's worse about it is that it's post-remix. I don't know exactly what the key population looks like. I've heard varying reports. I've heard some people say there's still plenty of keys going on. I've heard other people say they can't even find vault keys at times, but all I know is this is not the time to be acting like this, and you're going to see it immediately here. Something that I would say is probably the biggest red flag, and always goes this way. I mean, I've seen it happen so many times over the years. We are looking at a Halls 10, as you can tell, and on the screen we have some very pertinent information. We have the item level of everyone, which everybody is qualified for this dungeon, don't worry. But then you see the Mythic Plus score, okay, and you see the absolute wide range. Look at the range and tell me who you think the one outlier is and why that's a problem. It should immediately register to you what's going on here. Don't ever invite somebody who doesn't need the key for score, but I think it's even worse than that in vault keys. I think if you invite somebody who is way higher score than everybody else, you're gonna run into this 9 times out of 10. We're gonna start the dungeon with the pack that I normally do as well. I think probably everybody doing it at this point. We're gonna pull ultra big here, and we're gonna use the bloodlust spell, right? Promise me we're gonna use the bloodlust spell. Tell me we're doing this again. Okay, we got a PM hunter. I was worried, but we do use the bloodlust spell. That is not in play today, but we are gonna watch our first death here as the circles overlap, and the paladin who submits this just kind of doesn't really get out of it. As you see on the way back, the running mobs have ran amok, and they have now aggroed my least favorite mob in the entire video game, and the Houndmaster is like over here just like auto-attacking people. I don't know, this is turning into a bit of a mess here. I think it's such a lenient dungeon now, though. This is why it's so offensive to me, this video, because a 10, especially post remix, especially post phase 1 of turbo boost, or whatever you want to call this now, that the world we're living in now, just get the freaking key over with. Like, what are you doing at 10 for at 3100 if you're not here to just finish it? I really don't know. I mean, I'd like to know, honestly, what the problem is with this key. Why even sign up to this key in the first place if you're going to act this way? Now, if you thought that pull went bad, wait till you see this one. We pull the Houndmaster again. We have no way to actually gather this mob, so that plus all the enemies that are coming in are going to be a pain. Warrior immediately almost dies. I'm not even sure how. Here we go again. Same sets of mechanics coming out. Everybody really low already. Healer kind of maybe struggling a little bit to get going here, and they are ultimately going to die. Healer's dead, so I mean, you could start looking at how other people die, but realistically, without a healer, everybody's going to die here, so we are just going to end up having a full wipe, or, you know, near enough to it. The tank is actually going to live through it, and then everybody's going to get back in that staggered fashion that you so often see. As they do, the tank dies. So there's our 6 dead in the dungeon. Tank's now dead. All the people who just ran back in with the tank dead are now going to die too. Here starts our problems. We see our first comment from the warrior who, after a full wipe, I guess, I mean, like, it was a pretty bad wipe there. He says, "Are you in a rush?" Is that a serious question? I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're doing a timed dungeon in 2025, yeah, you're in a rush. Again, these groundskeepers just keep being pesky, though. Watch this. The one groundskeeper feared, it's so low. Like, I'm really shocked that it doesn't just die here. It's at 15% health, and it's just going to run out there and aggro the Houndmaster, bringing more trash in here. I'm not actually sure how this aggroes, but as we're fighting this, somebody, I guess, aggroes the healthiest pack. I think it might be a combination of the Houndmaster kind of leaping over here. I don't really see anything that aggroes it. Maybe like the spinning hammers thing from the Paladin, but all of a sudden you see the Obliterator enter the shot there right under the webcam, and now we're engaged in the entire pack again. And as we do, we are going to ultimately have a death here. I think it's just like a lack of kicks. The Hunter, the BM Hunter, is going to go down. Tank does another Death Knight thing here. This just doesn't work. I think if you're not a Death Knight, this just doesn't work. He's going to run the shard over here. This is what I normally do. I start gripping these mobs over the fence in to fight us, so we're continuing to chain. But that mob just stays out there. It's just staying out there. Gonna eventually walk in here, but just continuing to cast over and over again, not be interrupted. Now, our 10th death actually comes out to just standing in a circle. So I'm comparing this to like runs that I've done in higher keys, and this timer's like perfectly fine. I think like in general, though, most DPS have actually no idea what timers look like. They have no idea. They think like, oh, well, we wiped once, this key's over. No matter what level it is, you can be talking about a 2 and people still think that. So just seemingly unprovoked, we are going to have our second vote to disband, as things have totally stabilized here. Like, I mean, we had one really bad wipe, then a couple little cheap deaths here, and somebody still wants to quit. I guess we know who it is. And you can see that after this pack, the guy just like stands still. He like battle shouts and then just stands still, and then all of a sudden the vote to disband thing pops up over there. Instantly everybody votes no. I mean, I really don't even understand why you'd be in here if you're voting 9 minutes into a key that's a 10. So this guy gets really mad now, I guess, because his vote did not pass. Not 100% sure what he's saying here, but he looks like he's saying, "You guys are fucking disgusting. All spelled wrong, by the way. Legit kill yourself, I guess is what he's trying to say. He can't spell anything right. Legit kill yourselves. Kill yourselves all in one word, and then subhumans with no U. I don't know. We're going to continue on without him. The guy's going to literally just leave. Like, as you see the map right now, he's just off doing something else and dies. What could he be doing? Well, I think you could figure it out on your own. Let's see if we can actually try to see his character, because he's down the stairs right now. We're pulling these packs together. Again, kind of doing this really like, you need death grips for this, brother. Like, I don't know if this normally works as a paladin, but you need death grips for this. But anyway, you see his character. He just ran past it. He jumped off the screen there. There's a red circle off under the health bars. You see his character gets the debuff. That's him, I guess, coming back into the shot. I'll try to pause it. You see that red circle there just above the webcam right here? That's him. I think he's trying to go aggro trash, and he just fails his own game. We've seen this happen so many times, but he does, I guess, ultimately aggro something. This guy's going to be a little bit better than some of the people we've seen, though. As you see, he's now aggroed that middle pack. Let's watch that. I'll pause it right here. You see him. He's coming through the tree right now, and he's just going to walk into that trash there. Healer's going to go down from the previous pack being aggroed, and now this pack's being aggroed. He dies. He's like one of the first people to die, too, so that's working out. And we're just going to keep like chain dying or chain pulling into it, I guess. I don't know how you say this. Just like keep coming back, and everybody but the tank dies over and over again. I don't know what to say anymore. I try to give these people the benefit of the doubt, but it gets worse and worse. Every time we review one of these videos, it makes less and less sense to me, especially in a 10. So we just continue here now, which is the weird part. Not for very long. He throws his weapon at the slasher. You can see that happen. Just going to walk up here and do DPS for a little bit, and then he's going to throw his weapon at the slasher. Not enough. He's then going to run up there and throw his weapon at the groundskeepers. Just another really dangerous pack. Good work. He's going to run ahead and aggro that patrol of the dogs and like the huntsman guy or whatever. He's going to throw his weapon at that. He's getting a lot of value out of that spell. That's probably getting pruned at midnight. Keep using it now. Then he just forgot about all the shit he actually pulled before that effectively wiped them. So now he's just running down there behind the webcam. You can see him right there. He's going to go and aggro the stuff before that wiped us. Like, I guess he just forgot about those mobs. They actually worked last time. He's going to grab the casters again, and then the first person to die, guess what? What a surprise, is the warrior. I think this comment that comes up in the chat bubble is funny. It's like just irony. The character says, report war. Obviously, you're talking about report the warrior, but I think it's funny because like we're now in a war, right? We're in a tug of war with this guy who's just trying to ruin this key for absolutely no reason other than he thinks the tank was in a rush, I guess. It's like, I can't really understand the reason. His response to the report war that is unfolding: keep voting no, you lifeless losers. It is really, really crazy to me how these fucking idiots are so scared of getting this lever debuff. And I could see it maybe like week 2 or 3 of the season, but we're now into what, like 10 weeks? How did these people still care? I really don't get it. If you don't want to be in the fucking group, then just leave. So they do another vote. It's another non-successful vote. Like, who do these people think they're tricking here? I don't understand. They want to finish the group. You leave, they'll keep going. This actually probably be the best case scenario. I don't really understand why this guy wants this group to break up. He says, I mean, sure, let's keep wiping for 18 minutes. That's only happening because of what you're doing. I love the way people communicate in this game, though. After all of that, the hunter just says, you're just reported. That's it? All right, great. We're going to continue on with the dungeon. So here he comes. Let's watch him again. He's going to run up. He aggroed the slasher already. Now he's over there on the ledge throwing his weapon. This dude's probably favorite spell in the game is whatever that, what's that, heroic throw? That dude's getting more mileage out of that in this one key than he probably did all year. They keep trying to convince him to just leave, which it's like, yeah, I mean, I really don't get it. I don't understand why you're in the group and why you care about this lever debuff this much. Anyway, they're trying their best to continue, and they actually are making some progress. Gonna get this shard of healthiest down. We're actually gonna have like a legitimate death. The hunter just dies. They're just fighting the pack without the warrior. The hunter just dies. I think at this point the warrior's just AFK. I haven't seen his dot move in like many minutes. So again, best case scenario, I wish the guy just did that instead. We probably wouldn't even be making a video on it at this point in the season if he did. And now here comes the dot again. We see the dot marching forward. He's like, wait, these guys are still here? I gotta show them a thing or two. He's gonna leap. We're gonna see him leap by us. This is the funniest part about this. Leaps by us. Okay, just like runs into the trash. 2 mobs over there. Another tough pack he's creating for them here. Just gonna get meleeed a bunch with that dark blade as he throws his weapon yet again and dies to fucking melees on the pack that he pulled that is now resetting. My favorite part of this. I watched this like 3 times. This is so freaking funny to me. Watch. I just love watching a warrior leap by the screen. Here it comes. Boom. Just goes right through the camera there. Gonna run by some other mobs. That mob was actually casting on him and we don't kick it, so it shoots him and he dies to melees. Oh, I love this video game. So he tries to pull 2 packs and both of them reset. Running back and we're tailing him. Not not on his mount. You can mount up in this dungeon, so that's another good tip. If you want to fuck people over, you can do it a little bit faster on your mount. Gonna grab those 2 mobs again. They were dangerous to him last time, so instead of running into melee, he's gonna throw the weapon again. Like our 10th use of that spell in one dungeon. It's gotta be some kind of record. You know what actually would have been a pretty good idea here, brother? How about you pull the boss? I don't know how he doesn't think of this. Just pull the boss. Now, the big question mark here is, with the timer over, is it actually adjusted to the deaths? With 42 deaths, the timer would be obviously way, way, way lower. I'm not sure if it is or isn't, but we're not actually gonna find out immediately here. But anyway, the hunter says something weird. Thank you for the video. All right. Yeah, I mean, maybe he knows the channel too, I guess. It's not the person who's submitting this, but maybe they're together or something. I don't really know, but yeah, thank you for thanking him, I guess. Yeah, this is good. Thanks for the video. Haven't broken enough rules yet for this Solyrex from Argent Dawn. He's got to break one more before he leaves. He's going to go ahead and say this. I'm not going to read it out loud, obviously, but yeah. All right, cool. Well, that's one way to end a party. I guess he's just going to leave the dungeon now at this point. I don't know. But he says, kiss, kiss, keep drooling. What? Monk's got like a little face icon next to them. What is that? I don't have words, says the face icon. That's cute. Now, there's one thing that we got to talk about again. Luckily, this guy can just be reported for communication. It's actually like perfect. Like you don't even have to worry about it. But we haven't really talked about this topic since all the midnight stuff has come out, and a little bit has come out. I haven't seen every single interview or anything like that, but I did see, I believe it was with Icy Veins. I think it was like a panel interview, Icy Veins present. They asked Ian Hazukosis, lead game designer or whatever the hell his title is, if they believed the situation that unfolded here with Mythic Plus is working out. I think a lot of people thought it wasn't, and a lot of people thought that the company was just immediately going to remove it because of situations like this. But I was very, very pleased to hear Ian say, and I don't have the exact quote in front of me or anything like that, but basically that they are happy with the system, and instead of changing the system, they need to change the reporting system. I think he's saying like they need to fine-tune reporting tools or something like that. If that's true, then I'm really, really glad to see that, because I do think a lot of people are out there thinking like that what this guy is doing is proof that the system isn't working. But this is, in my opinion, the complete opposite. It's proof that the system is working, because for some reason, this guy stays in the key. I still cannot understand the psychology here after all of these months, how these people who are just total sociopaths, like, I mean, to be insulting these people, to be calling them names, like, what are you even doing, dude? They died once. It's a 1 wipe in a freaking 10. To be that worked up and that upset about this dungeon that you start breaking every rule in the book tells you the system is working, because in the past, the guy just would have left. He actually cares so much about this system that he won't leave, and he starts wildly lashing out at everybody around him. I don't know, to me, that's a win. I'm happy to expose these people as well. Obviously, I have a vested interest in it, but it's for the good of the community, man. You shouldn't want these people around you. Do with it what you will. I want to say also that this was the only submission I have gotten since Remix came out. That's kind of crazy. We were getting like 5 a day at times during the season at its height, and now we got 1 in 2 weeks. But you guys enjoy Remix as much as I am. We're still streaming it every day pretty much, and continuing to push Nighthold comment out. I'm really excited for that. But we're still going to do the Mythic Plus review, so thank you guys for the submissions, and if you run into anything on Remix too, feel free to send it in. Otherwise, keep sending in what you got. We got a backlog of them. We're in no shortage of that, so don't worry about that. But yeah, we'll be back to live WoW at some point too. So thank you for watching. Thank you for the support on this channel, and thank you for all the great submissions. And hopefully this conversation will evolve as we go into midnight. That could be a really big talking point. Thank you for watching. We will see you guys in the next video.